because there is a lot of goals for Liverpool, a lot of creativity. We're asking for a little bit more in terms of creativity and goals. They will provide that the way they combine, and it was great to see.
Let's clear up a big moment in the game that the Barnsley manager, Conor Hourihane, was yellow carded for. He perhaps hasn't seen it yet, but it was a 2-1 when Cleary, who was so quick down that left wing for Barnsley, he was electric, wasn't he? When Frimpong went off, Szoboszlai went to right back. He showed him a clean pair of heels. Szoboszlai made the challenge. The Anfield crowd held its breath, but when you see the replay, it's clear that Szoboszlai wins the ball.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's where you have to give the referee credit. There is no VAR in these games, and he has to make an instant decision. I thought his position was outstanding. He was up to speed with the play. He could see it really well. And if Szoboszlai doesn't time that challenge, it's a penalty. And I have to say, we weren't sure. I think my instinct was there's a touch. Was it the defender, Szoboszlai, or was it the attacker? Thankfully it was Szoboszlai's, but there was a massive penalty appeal. And I think weaker referees would give that. I have to say that. He was in front of their, however many they brought, 5,000, 6,000, maybe even more. They've got a great away from it. It's a big cheer. Referee has been strong there. And we've seen the replay. He's got that spot on. That's minute 60. That makes it 2-2.
Michael Oliver again there. We praised the referee tonight. You know, I think the referee was excellent tonight. He's one of those that you don't criticise, and as a quiet game, he's played the game. And in Farah Halam, I think he's earned the right now to get promoted to become a regular Premier League referee.
I'm not surprised.
It's not often we praise the rest, but I thought he was excellent tonight. Everything he did.
I've seen him a few times officiate in the Football League, and I have to say he makes the game better because he understands the game better. And some referees will say, well, it's about the rules.
There's the legend you see on the camera, Ali McCoy. What a guy! One of the very best.
But yes, so in terms of the referee, I've seen him in the Football League, and he sees the game, which I think a lot of us seem to see, but the referees in the Premier League see it differently. He's had a good game tonight, the referee, and it won't be long before we do see him in the Premier League a little bit more regularly. The problem he has is dealing with VAR. I think it's made every single referee in the Premier League worse than what they were before VAR. I do believe that. I
think that's the biggest positive to take from this game for me, Mills. Ekitike coming on, wirtz both coming on, and both assisting each other.
Yeah, absolutely. It's exciting to think how they can combine for future games. Obviously the next one coming very quickly against Burnley. It'll be the same approach at the weekend, Steve. There'll be no surprise. It'll be everyone behind the ball, a little bit like we saw tonight with Barnsley. Can you break us down? Now, we did with 2 goals from one from distance and one from a player committing players and scoring a goal.
And a little word as well for 2 former academy products, Bemal Yogananthan and Adam Phillips, who scored. It was a gift, but what would that moment mean to him there?
Yeah, it was a special moment for him. I think what we say is our academy is a fantastic place, developing these young players, and ultimately we want to see them in the first team. We've seen a couple play tonight, Engamel and Trey Naoni, but for others it's a case of trying to play the football elsewhere, and Adam Phillips is doing fantastically well at Barnsley. He's an established first team player. He's one of the best players they've got there, and they always look out for the academy lads, and he's one of those lads who's doing well.
Talk to me about, we can laugh about it now, but I'm sure they weren't laughing at half time in the dressing room with Arne, because he looked a face of fury when it happened. Dominik Szoboszlai was probably yet again our best player over the 90 minutes, because he scored a screamer, a brilliant ball for Florian Wirtz to set up Ekitike's last goal, but he also committed a moment of absolute madness that I don't think we'll ever see from a Liverpool player ever again.
I've changed my word for Szoboszlai there. He does brilliantly to get back in. He's done all the hard work, and in the spur of the moment in the first half, I think he used the word a bit of arrogance. The word I'm going to use now is complacency. I think that's a friendlier way of putting it. He done the hard work.
You have to say that on your review show tomorrow.
Complacency. he was trying to be too clever. He didn't need to be, and it was a gift of a goal. And what it did was it got Barnsley back into the game, and it made that second half a little bit too nervy for large periods. When had that gift not have been given to Barnsley, we might be sat here with a more emphatic victory. And it looks emphatic at 4-1. It was not an emphatic victory, that one tonight.
And you know, these can be banana skins. We saw from the early moments, and you know, with Liverpool playing a big team, there's massive expectations on us. We played well at Arsenal. We've been a little bit indifferent breaking teams down, who play 5 at the back with a low block. That's exactly what Barnsley did tonight. To be fair to them, you've got to give them credit. Defensively, I thought they were absolutely brilliant. Every one of them gave absolutely everything for their team in the end, and it was difficult at times, especially with Kayla Dunn, who could have scored after 27 seconds. I mean, Anfield was completely stunned by that moment. But, you know, on a weekend when Everton, Manchester United and the holders, Crystal Palace, have all gone out, we're through.
Yeah, well, ultimately it was about getting through to the next stage. It was a game we expected to win, and we weren't sure with the team news how strong we would go for the game. He's gone very strong. He's made his intentions perfectly clear. We want to get through. We don't want to be embarrassed by getting beat to a lower league opposition. We've done the job, and okay, you can say it could have been more emphatic. We made hard work of it, which I think we did do for large periods of the game, but we're through. We're through to the next round, and it's here again at Anfield against Brighton. That'll be a much tougher game in the next round. But also another thing, it keeps the momentum going. That's 11 games unbeaten, and you could argue how many of those games have we been incredible? Not many, but it's 11 games unbeaten, and it stopped the losing run. The lads are now building more confidence, more belief, and it sends a message to the opposition. We're 11 unbeaten. So Burnley at the weekend will be aware we're back on a good run.
Yeah, absolutely, back on a good run in the end. But Liverpool here leading 4-1 and winning this game 4-1 in the tie. Sorry, Mel's was just distracted by a supporter trying to get his team sheet.
He wouldn't be able to read my handwriting. If you're thinking who scored the first goal.
Live TV for you, isn't it? But you know, as well, the other positive, Jeremy Frimpong again scoring his first goal at Anfield. What a screamer it was.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, really pleased for him. He was playing at right fullback, but he's got that pace, hasn't he, to get forward. I actually thought he'd go outside, because if you're right footer, it's easy to go on your stronger side, but he cut inside, and maybe the defender wasn't expected, the goalkeeper wasn't, because he never reacted. That the shot was past him before he could react, and it's good for him, because you don't want to be relying on just one or two players. It's important the goals get spread around the team, and for Frimpong, who's back fit, that's a real positive, because of the bad news we had about Conor Bradley. Wish Conor Bradley all the best, but that might be a little run in the sand. Frimpong playing at right back now.
Oh, everyone's gone now. Stretch out a bit. Bit tight in the gantry, isn't it? But you know, job done Liverpool. But that was such a mad way that game started, wasn't it? I thought that was in, that header, and now Peter put a cross at 0-0 just over when Mamardashvili wasn't really anywhere near that.
Yeah, it could have been very different had Barnsley got the opening goal, and maybe they had something then to hold on to. It was a let-off, and we weren't expecting that. Caught us cold. They should have probably scored, but they didn't, and ultimately for us, we put ourselves into a commanding position. We made it more difficult because of the goal they got back just before half-time, but then you turn to your bench, and the players provided that quality when needed, just to put the game to bed and make it a little bit more easy at the end.
What a wonderful finish that was by Florian Wirtz. I mean, a lot of former players have compared him to Peter Beardsley, and I used to have a season ticket. Show me age, and I thought who cares? So I watched every game Peter Beardsley played for Liverpool, and he was a magician. I loved him. I loved him and John Barnes. They were absolute magicians to watch. And that was a Beardsley finish, that, by Florian Wirtz, in that famous number 7 jersey at the Cop End. A little ekitike back heel, that was delightful, and what a goal that was.
I think we've got a special player there. You know, I do really believe that. There was a lot of noise about expectancy. He cost a lot of money, and why is he not getting a goal and assist every game? He's settling in. He's adjusting to a new country, a new league, new teammates as well, new expectation here at Anfield rather than at Leverkusen. And you just watch him. And there's certain players, you mentioned Peter Beardsley there, you just want to watch. And for me, I look at Wirtz and I think, I really enjoy watching him. He can go inside, he can go outside, he always wants the ball, he works his absolute socks off every single game, he'll cover the distance, and you always think there's a match-winning moment in a player like that. Now, he scored a goal and got an assist today, and it's just took the game away from Barnsley, but you think, if we're going to win things, and we certainly hope to this season, this competition, Champions League, the leagues in future years, he can be a player, Steve.
Here we go, as people coming past us. Live TV, folks. There's no room in the gantry. There you go.
I was just building.
You go past. It's all right.
I was just building up to a big moment about Wirtz.
I know.
And it distracted me.
I know.
But anyway, I'm saying that he's a player who can be the match winner and the difference in big games, because I think he's that player. I believe
Yeah.
that he can be the best player in the Premier League by playing for Liverpool.
They're probably Man U fans then, probably gutted.
Hey, they're out of the FA Cup.
Yeah. But a good night for Liverpool in the end. It could have been difficult. You always expect different things to happen in these FA Cup ties, don't you? And we got the job done in the end, and I do firmly believe the return of Ekitike, it was electric out there, a brilliant goal, a brilliant assist. His link-up play with Florian Wirtz really gives us positives for the future, and we're going to need them to, the link-up against Burnley. I mean, Scott Parker normally plays a back four, but you would imagine he will probably come to Anfield on Saturday and play similar to what other teams have done here.
Yeah, I have to say, I think that's a big boost to see Ekitike back. I wasn't sure about his injury. Missed a couple of games, obviously a big one at Arsenal. You're thinking, when's he back? Probably wasn't expected to be out there tonight, but a bit of game time, he gets himself a goal and an assist. And now you're looking at Burnley thinking, yeah, we may well need him to be the difference at the weekend. But not just Burnley. Look at the fixtures coming up in this month. You've got Burnley, you've got Marseille, you've got Bournemouth. That's a tough away game, but I think Salah will be back for that. He will be back for that one. The other Karabakh here at Newcastle, there's some big games left this month, and you need your top players performing.
We need them fit as well, don't we?
Need them fit.
I mean, young Rio went off with a little knock. We hope that's not serious. He looked to be holding his hamstring area, but as I say, the positive one, he didn't go down the tunnel area, so maybe it was just a little bit of cramp more than anything. That's what I think, because if it had been anything more serious, I think he would have gone down the dugout there. What did you make of Rio again tonight? We said in commentary, Mel's, there's like a high expectancy about Rio. You know, there's been frustrations I've read online, and Liverpool fans and not happy that Rio hasn't been given much game time in these big Premier League games. But you've got to remember, he's only 17. He's not quite there physically yet.
No.
That will come. And I was talking to you off air about this, and you were thinking, in your opinion, it's massive for him just to be part of the first team setup at this moment in time.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot to like about him. There's a lot of excitement, and even when he gets the ball, you can sense inside the stadium, and that's unusual. That's unusual to have that sort of ability for somebody so young at 17. I think at that age, or maybe certainly in a year's time, you start thinking about loan moves. But he's that good at so young. His development is actually every day in the training ground, being around the standards of your Virgil van Dijks, your Andy Robertsons, your Mo Salahs, your Szoboszlai. These players of the Premier League. These are the standards that are needed if you are going to have a future at Liverpool Football Club. He can go to any club he wants on loan in the Championship, but they don't have the same standards about what is expected at Liverpool Football Club. And yes, his game time might have been limited, but if you look at his game time, he's still been involved in that dressing room. He's still been learning all the time, developing, and that's what you want. And so when he gets these little bits of game time, he shows little glimpses here and there. One of the balls in the second half, Steve, it was just brilliant. He put the ball into the 6-yard box, and you're thinking, if Ekitike is there, if an Isak's there, that's a simple header from close range. So he's still so young, but there's a lot to like it.
And a quick word on Adam Phillips and Barnsley. We like Adam Phillips. I mean, Barnsley gave a really good account of themselves tonight, and if they play like that, they won't be going down.
No, I think they'll be closer to the playoff positions. Obviously, this game has been out for a while, so they've had the mind on that, looking forward to it. They're in a bit of a sticky run in the league at the moment, but I'm sure they'll take positives from them. They defended really well, and they had moments. They hit the post, they had moments, didn't take them. And if they take that into the League One performances, I'm sure they'll start climbing the table.
Enjoyed as always with you, Mel. Ekitike back, we're buzzing with that one. Well, it was a mad night, wasn't it? We could have gone 1-0 down after 27 seconds at the Kop end, but that's the beauty of the magic of the FA Cup. We go back down pitch side now, the king of Kirby, Phil Thompson, with Jay Spearing, as Sir Kenny used to call him, still does, by the way. And there, so on a weekend when United and Everton both went out the Cup, Liverpool got the job done. It finished Liverpool 4, Barnsley 1. Becky, it's all yours.